This is number 80 from the College Algebra Final Exam Review. It asks us to solve the inequality and to graph the solution set. So my equation is s squared minus 5s minus 14 is less than 0. So notice it's squared, so it's a quadratic. So I have to get it in standard form first, which it is. So I have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, which in this case it is less than 0, but we're going to deal with that in a second. So I know it's in standard form, so I can go ahead and try to solve it. So I can try to factor. I have s squared, negative 5s, and negative 14. So no GCF. My a value is 1, b is negative 5, c is negative 14. We're looking for two numbers that multiply together to give me a times c, so 1 times negative 14. The same two numbers to add together to give me b, which is negative 5. So we are going to use negative 7 and positive 2. Negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. Negative 7 plus 2 will give me negative 5. Because a is 1, I can go ahead and write my two factors of s minus 7 and s plus 2. And that is less than 0. So we have it factored. Now we're going to set each factor to 0. And solve each one separately. So we're going to add 7 to both sides. And then we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. So we get the two values of 7 and negative 2. So even though we have those inequality symbols, we have to graph it to see which regions work. Remember, we're going from negative infinity to positive infinity. So we have negative 2 and 7. It's just less than, so we know these are going to be open circles. If it was less than or equals to or greater than or equals to, they would be closed in circles and using brackets. This is strictly less than, so we're going to have open circles and parentheses. So I have to test each region. So between negative infinity and negative 2, I'm going to plug in, I'm going to test negative 3. So plugging in negative 3 to my original equation, negative 3 squared minus 5 times negative 3 minus 14, is that less than 0? So in my calculator, negative 3 squared minus 5 times negative 3 minus 14. That'll give me 10. So I have 10 is less than 0. That is not true, so that region does not work. Next region I'm going to test is between negative 2 and 7. So let's plug in 0. So we're going to have 0 squared minus 5 times 0 minus 14, less than 0. 0 squared is 0. Negative 5 times 0 is 0. And then I have minus 14. So you really just have negative 14 is less than 0. That is true. So this region is going to work. So let's bold it in. Last region is from 7 to infinity. So let's test 8. So we're going to plug in 8 to our original equation and see if it's less than 0. So again, in my calculator, we have 8 squared minus 5 times 8 minus 14. Again, we get 10. And again, we know 10 is not less than 0. So that doesn't work. So this region does not work. This is our graph, so that was one of our answers. And then we have to write this in interval notation. So we're going to go from negative 2, it's an open circle, so a parenthesis, to 7, again open circle, again parenthesis, final answer. So that's number 80 on the College Algebra Final Exam Review.